Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. My name is John Mason and I'm guiding you through the entire Swimming World Cup season 2025, and joining me this year is the wonderful Natalie Hinds. It has been an incredible first stop here in Carmel, Indiana, and I tell you what, we're going to take you through some of the action. We just finished up tonight, so before we get into it, let's take a look at those rankings and see who is making it into our top 5. So out in front there for the United States of America, Gretchen Walsh takes stop 1 in first place, Kate Douglas just behind her in second, McKeown for Australia in third, Regan Smith for the United States of America in fourth, and Lani Pallister for Australia in fifth. On the men's program, we had Hubert Kos for Hungary out in front on first, taking the stop in Carmel. We had Caspar Corbeau for Netherlands in second, Carson Foster in third, Ilya Kharun for Canada in fourth, and Shaine Casas for the United States of America in fifth. We're going to dive right in, all right, because of course this is a little recap for those of you who missed out. Let's start with the women's program, Natalie. Gretchen Walsh, first place.
She's doing what she always does. She's picking up from last year at Budapest.
Yeah.
She's won 3 times here, setting a world record and multiple World Cup records. Her line is insane, and by line I mean the way that she holds her streamline. Her underwaters are insane, as most people can understand. She's going the full length underwater and really taking advantage of her strengths.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned that, you know, what she did in Budapest, what's impressing me so much is she did all of that. It was like world record, world record, world record, world record, world
One
record.
after another, after another.
Yes, right, it was constant. And then here we are a year later, and she's still doing it, and not just doing it, bettering her times. Like, that's a hard thing to do.
That's a hard thing to do, especially at the pro level. I think I told you before, it's just crazy that she set all those world records last year, and those times are unbelievably fast. She came back a year later and is going even faster. So it's just like, what is she doing in practice and her mental game and everything that she's doing to just keep putting best times on the board?
Yeah, and I mean, she comes into it, we were looking at that 50 flyer, that was that world record. We were sort of saying, it's a freestyle time, and not just a freestyle time.
Oh, good freestyle time.
Right?
Like a top 3 World Cup freestyle time, which is just crazy.
It's been insane to watch as well. You know, she had 3 wins, which was awesome. Of course, it's only the top 3 races from each athlete that count towards those total points. And speaking of that incredible world record from Gretchen Walsh, if you missed it, we've got it for you. So let's take a look.
In sight. She's got to hit both strokes. She's got to hit the wall with that perfect stroke. 11 flat or better is what you're looking for. 11 flat, 10-9, 10-9. That's a great turn. Good breakout.
It's all coming together for Gretchen Walsh, chasing another title and world record, and she's got it! By over 2/10, another American dominant performance for Gretchen Walsh, and she does it at home here in Indiana.
Moving on, we had Kate Douglas. Her versatility is insane.
And has been since college. She's also known for the 200 IM. She started with that, the 50 free, the 100 free. She's now kind of really gone into the longer breaststroke, so the 200 breaststroke. But as you saw tonight, she won the 100 freestyle. So it really just, her limit is limitless.
Yeah, and I want to know from you, you know, your perspective, what does that training look like, right? If you're training for a 2-breast, 100 breast, and then pulling out, you know, qualifying relay times onto a world's team. She did it long course. She's doing it here, winning the 100 free. How do you train for that?
I think you just have to really take a look at your time spent on each stroke. I think freestyle really translates to a lot of different strokes, especially the power work that I know those girls do. So really just being able to take that training and really use it for your race, I think is just really the power is really important.
Yeah. And she's doing a great job at it.
Doing a great job.
Great. But of course, as always, it seems to be the USA versus Australia.
Always.
It seems to be like this whenever we're on the world stage.
It's our favorite rival.
It's rivalry. It's friendly rivalry.
It's friendly. Those girls are amazing, but at the end of the day, they all want to win.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
And McKeown did a pretty good job of it, you know. So
yes.
We saw her take the 200 and the 50 back, those 2 golds. She got
range
silver.
is crazy as well.
Exactly this. Like, you're swimming a 50, a full sprint, and then moving into a 200.
Which is like all strategy.
Yeah, and dominating. But she looked amazing out there.
Yeah, and then in the 100, she got beat by none other than Regan Smith. We talk about that rivalry between USA and Australia. Yeah. And Regan got second in the 50 and in the 200 as well.
But you know what I love about those two? I think it's like they've been racing each other for so long. Regan said it in the post-race interview tonight. You know, it's been like a decade they've been doing this. And I think it feels like to me it's just mutual respect.
Yeah.
They're both the best, and it's who's the best on the day.
In this moment, on that day. You see that. They just trade back and forth. And you can see, like, outside of the pool, they're laughing, they're joking around. Like, there's nothing but great feelings between the two of them, which sometimes that's not always the case.
Yeah.
Especially when there's like money on the line and there's, you know, like it's nice to see that healthy relationship.
See, there goes McKeown. Smith gonna have to do it from behind. She had a great back half this morning. She about was the same split as McKeown on the way back this morning, but I just don't see it now. I mean, she's gonna have to swim a completely different race here this last 50. 1:28.4. She's only a half second off of Regan Smith's world record. Her best time's 1:58.9. She's gonna be under 2 minutes. And she's just destroying this field, including Regan Smith.
McKeown is motoring here, maybe a little motivated by watching the American get the better of her last night in the 100 back, but the Aussie leaving no doubt here, chasing the World Cup record time. Won't get there. Still impressive here for McKeown. It will be a U.S. Open record, fastest time ever swam in a U.S. pool. She gets the win, Smith second, and Charlotte Crush, with her first podium of the meet, ends up third.
It's take Douglas a while to get going. She doesn't have that raw speed that Lily King had. Yefimova does. Very good in the 50. And she'll touch first.
Douglas starting to turn up the tempo and now powering past the Estonian right now. Douglas of the dark cap goes in front in lane 5.
Boy, it's tight though. I don't know, boy. Dead even there. Just a couple hundredths of a second separates them. Oh, look at that breakout. Did you see that breakout? Unbelievable for Douglas.
And she is gone. Kate Douglas does it again. Another breaststroke gold. Yefimova there in second. Ellen takes third. Another remarkable swim for the American super talent.
Speaking of Regan Smith, of course, we have to give a shout out to that 200 fly. It was incredible. It was an American record, and she almost broke 2 minutes.
Which I don't think you guys understand how wild that is. That is insane.
Yeah.
Not many people have done that, if at all, right?
No, I think barely anyone.
Right. So that's
I think she put her in like the top 3 swimmers of all time or
100%,
something for that race.
yeah.
But I asked her, I said, you know, are we going to see that on this tour? And she said 100%.
I love the confidence.
This is it.
That little girl has some confidence.
Yeah, but she knows what she can do, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, look, that's how close I was. It was like 0.3 off. And she's like, this is stop 1. I got this. Like, I'm going to break 2 minutes.
And I think that's what I love about World Cups, because there's 3 stops. You're really able to build throughout those 3 stops. So you'll see a lot of these times get faster as we move towards Toronto.
I love that, you know, because it's consistent.
Yeah.
And speaking of consistency, Lani Pallister has been nothing but consistent this entire year. We saw her, she won the 400. She also won the 800. She was on Katie Ledecky's world record pace for most of that race. And, you know, for me, it took me back to Singapore. I think that race between her and Summer and Katie in Singapore is one of the best races I've ever watched.
Yes, and Lani really, I mean, she's been good, but she really busted on the scene this summer and really is just carrying that momentum here. You can see it in how she swims, how she carries herself. She's just excited and she's happy to swim. And honestly, at this stage, being a pro, when you're happy, you're gonna swim fast.
Yeah. A happy swimmer's a fast swimmer. And, you know, I think it's gonna be fascinating. She's getting so close to that world record. For someone to take a Katie Ledecky world record,
we'd all fall out.
Insane. It'd be a full crash out with us on pool deck.
It would.
But I think if anyone's going to do it at the moment in the world of swimming, it's Lani.
Yeah, it is. And I feel like, I mean, I know where I was when Summer broke Katie's world record in the 800 long course. And it's going to be kind of that effect as well. It's just like, you know, times that seem unachievable will always be achievable with time.
Absolutely. So that was the top 5 women. Of course, this could all change next week. But before we move on, we're going to look at the men. The men's program was a stacked field this week as well. So I want to start with Hubert Kos, because he obviously took first place at stop 1. He won the 50, the 100, and the 200 back.
He took out the broom and he did a full sweep.
A full sweep, a clean sweep. We love to see it, which, you know, is crazy to me. I think Hubie's known for his 200, But he said to me, you know, he's been working on that speed, and we're seeing it.
Yeah, and I also really did see it in the back half of his races. A lot of these athletes are building into their races, and of course in a 50 it's really hard to build into, but you can really see off the walls he's been putting in the work in those breakouts, really carrying that speed. And you've seen that with honestly all of the people who train together at Texas.
Yeah.
They are looking amazing off the wall, and I just don't think people understand how hard it is and what the training is like to be able to do that seamlessly.
And then we didn't talk about Carter right in the middle. He had the top qualifying time along with Kos, and he's another example of one of those guys that are going to stick around at 29 for those 50s. He loves the 50s.
At the turn, Trebuntsev fractionally ahead, great underwater from Kos to the center of the pool. Will it be enough? Trebuntsev up top. Kos gets it done with the win.
In second place, someone else who was looking really strong, Caspar Corbeau. He's just moved to Belgium. He's back training with his old coach Mark down there. He's settled in, and you can see it in his racing.
You can see the confidence. I think that's what I look for now that I don't swim anymore. I'm on the outside. I'm like, how confident do they look? How comfortable do they look? Are they having fun? Because I'm more concerned about those types of things, because I know if those are all right, they're going to swim fast. But he looks really solid, and I think as we move on to Westmont, he's going to continue, and he'll be one of those to look out for a crown.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
And you know, seeing him beat Leon Marchand tonight in that 200, I mean, it was close. Leon put it was like a 30.5 or something on that final 50.
Because
like,
you
it
know
was
he's
crazy.
Always going to have a back half. The last 50, the last 25, he's always going to go 15 meters, and he's always going to have one of the fastest splits.
Yeah, but Caspar said to me, you know, in the post-race interview, he was like, I knew that was going to be Leon's strategy, so it was full send from the start. And it hurt, but it paid off.
You have to respect that, because that hurts in a 200, a full send.
Yeah. Crazy.
Let's have a look at that amazing 200 breaststroke with Caspar Corbeau beating Leon Marchand.
And bronze in Paris for him, bronze at the Long Course Worlds in this race this summer as well. Already won the 100 breast here. He's looked terrific. Marchand trying to pick it up on the outside in lane 8 now.
Yeah, you're right, Jason. He's trying, isn't he? He's trying to get himself back into it. I can guarantee you he sees him. At least he'll be able to see him on this next turn right here. He's full second now off that world record. Nobody has ever broken 2 minutes. Come close a couple times. 2:001 is the world record. Now Marchand is 0.6 of a second off.
He cut about 0.3 off the lead in that last 25. Look at him really charged now. Marchand coming hard. Corbeau looking to hang on to the wall. Corbeau will get it done by about 0.4 over the Olympic champion.
Amazing to see him do incredibly well, but of course, moving over to third place, Carson Foster, another
America's
USA,
favorite. Yes,
America's favorite.
People love Carson, his story from not making the team to literally going to the Olympics and doing well. Everybody loves that type of story, and he's just such a great person too.
He is, and what was fascinating for me, you know, I see him swim the 4 AM. I see him, you know, he's such a strong swimmer in different events, and just super talented. But I've never seen him swim a 15.
A 1500 is just on a whole nother level, and to see him like swim that and do well, it's like, oh, he's really training, he's putting in the hours, he's in really good shape right now. So that really bodes well for his future races.
I mean, I think he, you know, when he got out, he was like, I don't know if I'll do that again. So I think it was like testing it out. We'll see.
Maybe it's part of the training plan. We don't know.
Who knows? If it was, he wasn't too happy about it. But you know, he was all smiles at the end of tonight as well. And you know, great to see him get that third place. Another athlete who was looking incredible this weekend, of course, Canada's Ilya Kharun in the butterfly strokes. He's always super strong, but it's like the confidence was there this weekend, and there was a few upsets.
Yeah, there was. He took first in the 50 fly, which that was the biggest upset over Noe Ponti. I think he's so young, he has so much ahead of him, but it was really good to see him swim fast here.
Absolutely, and you know, Noe obviously took that 100, and all eyes were on him. He's the world record holder in that 50.
He went crazy last year. At these
crazy! Well, he broke the world record. Like it was like the build into Budapest. He broke it a couple of times on the World Cups, and then we saw him do it in Budapest, and that's the current standing world record. And he hasn't lost a 50-meter butterfly for like 3 years.
It's it's hard to keep that going. It just gets harder and harder and harder. So honestly, the fire could be lit now, and now we might be seeing something later in Toronto and in Westmont.
It's one of my races for you guys to keep an eye out for, because it was right down to the touch. And he's going to be fighting for that next week. He's going to be fighting.
You could tell he really wanted it.
Red cap in the middle. That's Ponti. It's going to come between these two guys. I don't see anybody else even being close to them. They just fly down the pool, 10 flat on the way out. Little off his world record pace. Opens the door for Kharun.
Who's right there towards the wall. Ponti won't get there. Kharun gets him by 0.04 of a second. And the 20-year-old from Sun Devil Swimming continues a super strong meet.
Shaine Casas.
Shaine is on fire.
Yo.
And he's been on fire since trials, really, I think, last year, and then onto the Olympics. And then now coming here, it's like he's really, when Bob moved to Texas, I think he really found his stride with his training. I talked to Bob at Nationals in June, and he really just said he's gotten everything calibrated outside of the water, in the water. And so you can really see that here at this first stop, winning the 100 IM, winning the 200 IM, getting third in the 400 IM from the morning swim. It's just like every time he touches the water, like he's going a best time. He's lowering his American record in the 200 IM. It's just insane.
And that for me, that 200 IM for the men's program was one of the races of the weekend.
Yeah,
it was
100%.
so insane to watch him and Leon Marchand go neck and neck, and for Shaine to pip him right at the post, right at the end. But like you say, it seems to be calibrated, and he feels like a different athlete. Like he always had the talent, he always had the skill, and everything's like falling into place.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think there was any separation there. In fact, Casas outsplit Marchand there in that breaststroke.
How about it? Casas taking it back and taking it to the world record holder.
Look at this. He's going to have the lead after the 150. Marchand's going to have to now do it in the freestyle.
Shaine Casas trying to hold off Leon Marchand here in Carmel, and the American holding off the French phenom right now.
Look at this! Casas! Casas! Something big's gonna have to happen right here!
Massive underwater from Marchand to pull close, but it doesn't look like it'll be enough. Casas with the stretch for the win. American record as well for Shaine Casas, and knocking off Leon Marchand. Schlicht in there for bronze, and Rowdy, how about Casas?
So they are our top 5 men and women, of course, fantastic races. And I can't wait to see what they do in Westmont. It could, of course, all change, Natalie.
I am so excited. The great thing about World Cup is you're going to see new people in the races as well. People sometimes just drop in for a stop, and that's what's going to happen. So it's really going to be interesting next week, but also when we get to Toronto for some of those crown busters.
I know, it's going to be dramatic. So you guys should be tuning in. Next weekend, of course, we're going to be going live across all platforms. So check those out. And of course, give us a follow on social media at World Aquatics. We would love to have you join us. And we're going to be here for the next 2 weeks. 2 more weeks of it. Swimming Cup action.